Good morning and welcome to the AM News. Our very first story, the Northern Regional Coordinating Council is asking for investigations into the upsurge of pregnant school-going girls. The council is keen on knowing why more than 191 WASI candidates were pregnant. Members of the council have been discussing possible solutions at an end-of-year meeting, from where correspondent Martina Bugri reports.
The end-of-year meeting brings stakeholders and various departmental heads together to deliberate on how far they have fared through the year. Presenting the educational situation of the region to the stakeholders, the Northern Regional Director of Education, Dr. Peter Tifua, said there was the need to address these concerns swiftly. He said the wish of the Ghana Education Service is that these girls do not get pregnant at all, but if it happens, there is the need for them to be encouraged to stay in school until they complete.
Gushebu Senior High, absent due to pregnancy, 0. Those who wrote was pregnant, 1. And I want to talk about this one. This person who went to write the exam when she was pregnant, I think the very first paper, she was in labor. And she went to deliver in the school and came back to sit down to write. On and on to Wapuli Community 1. So you see that throughout the senior high schools that we have, there were some pregnancy issues in all the institutions. It is something we must seriously work on.
The Northern Regional Minister, Alhaji Shani Alhassan Shaibu, commended RECSEC for the swift intervention in dealing with issues of security in the region.
The region can confidently state that the state has enjoyed relative peace thanks to the security agencies for our dedication and commitment, the professional manner in which they tackled issues that had tendency of disrupting peace and security in the region. We can all recall recent issues of some audio-video recordings that circulated across the social media handles and looming ethnic conflicts. Thanks to Undayana.
Now, more than 40 lives were lost through road accidents in the Upper West region this year alone. That's according to Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Kwame Owusu-Abrokwa, who's cautioning drivers against bad driving habits this Yuletide. More in this report by correspondent Rafiq Salam.
Cases of road accidents, the National Road Safety Authority launched a Stay Alive campaign in a bid to reduce the carnage on the roads. Out of the over 2,500 persons that lost their lives to road accidents in the country this year, 42 of them are from the Upper West region. The launch of the Stay Alive campaign in the region is therefore to create awareness of the need to be disciplined to reduce the carnage on the roads. Upper West Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Kwame Owusu-Abrokwa, expressed concern about the increasing fatalities on the road. Most of these fatalities, according to him, have been attributed to the work of the devil. He urged road users to follow the stipulated traffic regulations in order to shame the devil.
And when you die, Obunsam will be sick somewhere, and you know when you apply your blades, you know the helmet, and that will be authorized. So all that we can say is that this year alone, within the last 10 months, we've had about 42 people dead. That is more than that of COVID. That is more than COVID killing. COVID within that time killed about not more than 20. But we here are killing ourselves with a huge number of 42. And that of the vehicles that have been destroyed, 234, we have the serious injury, that is 79.
Industrial Relations Officer of the Upper West Regions branch of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Alhaji Nuhu Mahama, agreed hook, line and sinker with the Upper West Regions Director of the National Road Safety Authority. However,
now, in the central region, as the festive season begins, many hospitals and health facilities have stepped up efforts to vaccinate and sensitize people on the need to minimize the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Health authorities there are seeking to meet a vaccination target of over 1 million by the end of the year. Acting Medical Superintendent of the Agunaswedu Government Hospital, Dr. Julius Adbeku, says in time that many have let their guard down and there's a greater need to get people protected against the COVID-19 disease. Richard Kojunyako has more in the following report.
The central region is one of the regions that's racing against time to get many residents vaccinated against the COVID-19 disease. Health officials are also dealing with a few communities that had issues at vaccine hesitancy. Acting Medical Superintendent of the Swedru Municipal Hospital, Dr. Julius Adbeku, says in the era where many of the residents have forgotten the existence of COVID-19, a lot needs to be done to minimize the spread of the virus. He thanked Big Cap Microcredit for such a donation that would help in the fight against the virus. The directorate indicates it will increase their risk communication since the waves of the pandemic keep rising.
Because we have been seeing waves upon waves, the efforts towards the pandemic seem to have dwindled a bit. So for them to have remembered that we still need to fight this pandemic and help with this donation, we are most and eternally grateful. The issues that most people have with vaccinations, and some of them are unfounded, allegations that are quite unfounded. This vaccine has not been with us for too long, so some of the things they say, you don't understand the basis for it. Okay. But we are educating our people. The vaccine is quite safe, and there's so much vaccine available that we can vaccinate a large number of people. We are also intensifying education on the safety protocols.
CEO of Big Cap Microcredit, Fedaus Mubarak Yusuf, explained the donation, where 36,000 forms part of their corporate social responsibility in supporting the public in the fight against the virus.
I protect myself, you get protected. You don't protect yourself, I get affected. So that was one of our notions of our donations here. The items we gave are very key strategic items that are going to eradicate a lot of problems that are here in Agunaswedu. And we hope that when it is being put to use, it is going to, of course, reduce some of the challenges that they are facing here. A lot of people have focused so much in Accra, and it is something that I'm trying to let people or stakeholders know that they should focus more on the rural areas, because when these diseases are in these areas, it's very, very difficult to find. And these are the people that travel to the city once in a while and regenerate these diseases.
MP for Aguna West, Cynthia Mamle Morrison, expressed appreciation for the gesture and called on the general public and corporate bodies to support the health facilities in these trying times.
It's not only COVID-19 in all aspects, especially during this Yuletide. We pray that corporate bodies will come together. A lot of them do it already. So I'm appealing and I'm saying that this is another year that has ended, and we believe that a lot of people have excesses at home. So we should reach out not only to hospitals, but even to the homes, to the orphans, to the needy, to the underprivileged, to the elderly. There are a lot of people who without a gift will not spend Christmas.
Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kojunyako, Agunaswedu.
All right, well, meanwhile, in the Bono East region, the Director of Health Services for Techima North District, Dr. Alfred Kojampofo, has charged the people of the area to adhere strictly to the laid-down COVID-19 protocols as a means of helping curb the spread of the coronavirus disease. The Directorate is urging the people to ignore the various myths surrounding the COVID-19 vaccines and go for the jabs in order to stay protected. Correspondent Anas Sabit reports.
Christmas festivities finally has arrived, and there are some challenges and constraints, especially in respect to security. So today we're having a discussion on this security, what measures we've taken in place.
This is the Bono East Regional Minister Kwesi Edujan elaborating some key security measures instituted by the Regional Security Council to ensure that residents celebrate this festive season safely.
The Regional Coordinating Council have taken a lot of measures to make sure that the people traditionally are secured and humanly security is provided for them. From Kintampo North to Sene East to Techimai South, each and every assembly, one after the other, the chief executives brief us on the elaborate plans that they have put forward for that. It includes some areas like in the Eastern Corridor. It includes escort services for travelers, provision of making the police presence very visible, and other areas is also on the visibility, making sure the market is safe, making sure travelers moving in and out the transport arena, all those areas are safe.
Mr. Edujan noted that a committee has been established to come up with a strategic plan to ensure the safety of the people within the region.
I've also put together a 3-member team of RECSEC to come up with a strategic plan to ensure that there is a plan for the Christmas festivities. Today, as part of RECSEC meeting, we'll look at their proposal for us to have a good plan as a region to make sure that those gaps that need to be filled at the assemblies, we provide it.
With crime likely to go high due to activities of various criminal gangs, the regional minister assured that the various district security councils are on the alert to deal with any possible criminal activity likely to be executed.
The various districts in the region are alert. From the security plan they presented to me last week on the 17th, it's a clear indication of their alertness and readiness to curb every crime. So we are alerting them that if they are ready, we are also ready, and we'll meet them boot to boot. Okay. We are here to guarantee the safety, peace of our people during these festivities, and we'll ensure that we do exactly that.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techimai in the Bono East region.
So the family reunions, story time under the bright full moon, and the excitement that come with tasting chicken for the first time in a year are fond memories. Love FM's Emmanuel Bright Kweku traveled to Drobonso in the Ashanti region to seek answers to whether Christmas traditions in the village still linger on.
Drobonso, the capital of the Secho Afram Plains district, is located on the outskirts of Kumewu in the Ashanti region. The district capital houses nearly 36,000 indwellers, who mostly are farmers and petty traders. With Christmas beckoning, the indigents in this community seem not to be so much enthused about the festive season. The old folks here argue the excitement of the season is diminishing as the Xmas culture gradually loses its essence. Ejamenu has lived in Drobonso since his birth in 1958. The 63-year-old owns a mini grocery shop. There's a lot in the village.
The Christmas in the olden days was fun.
Recounting Christmas in the olden days, Ejamenu says residents of Drobonso and adjoining communities used to meet at the community center to celebrate the festive season. As a kid, he and his friends would dress up in masquerade and go for what the Westerners would describe as trick or treats during Halloween.
When I was a child, my friends and I used to visit homes for trick or treat. We used to hang them around our neck.
Other folks ascertain the Xmas, unlike the olden days, have changed dramatically.
A lot has changed. I remember those You would have to leave wherever you are before 20th for Christmas.
It's about that time of the year again, December 24th. Many people in urban centers are seen joining public transport, but one may ask, where are they heading? Is it a village for Xmas? Let's find out more from these travelers.
I'm going to Beijing for the holidays. It's more fun there than in the city.
Xmas in the village is more fun. My siblings and I normally go back home to enjoy the holidays.
Others have attributed the changes in the Xmas traditions in the village to the recent economic hardship in these remote areas.
Back in the days, Xmas was fun. The villagers used to come here to buy items for the festive season, but it's not the same anymore.
Do you visit your village for Xmas? From Kumasi, for Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Well, that's it for the AM News. The AM show continues, and we'll be diving straight into the newspapers right after this. Don't go anywhere. Okay, should we get into the newspapers?
Yeah, but you remember yesterday, the Attorney General has decided to take legal action against the Member of Parliament for Inyam. The former Deputy Minister was now the Finance Committee ranking member.
Okay.
Kezel Atuforsen, Dr. Atuforsen.
Oh, really?
So he's been charged for causing financial loss to the state. Remember, in the Mills Mahama administration, somewhere around that time, government decided to procure some ambulances for the National Ambulance Service. Now the vehicles came in, but it didn't have the components.
We did a story on that. There were quite a few things missing, so they had been parked for a while.
Yeah. I remember I was in Parliament then. I reported on the vehicle because they had been parked at Parliament, and it was virtually a cargo. Apart from the screaming ambulance on it, inside the vehicle was nothing. So the case has been going in and out of Yoko, the Attorney General's office, and I guess finally the agency decided to go to court and to demand answers why over almost 4 million euros cannot be accounted for in the procurement of these ambulances. And Kezel Atuforsen was the Deputy Finance Minister then. It remains to be seen how they'll be able to, put these matters together and get prosecution. And also, I'm still checking, but somebody in a very prominent position in this country now, in terms of the hierarchy from number 1 to number 2, number 3, one of them was the health minister at the time. And it was under his watch that, the whole contract was signed and everything. So once Atuforsen, the former deputy minister, has been hauled before court to answer for causing financial loss to the state. If you want to drag the matter further, we are likely to bring in the person who was the health minister at the time.
At that time.
And that person occupies a very important position.
What is very interesting.
So the question is, what is going on?
The question is, why now? The question for me is, and you see, sometimes you listen to these things, oh, maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know, like at this point when E-levy is on the floor, and it's like, okay, this side is not budging now. We're like, okay, we are going to take you people. It's very interesting.
Well, let's see how it goes. They also tell you that, crime has no expiry date. They can decide to take you anytime they want.
Of course they will. I mean, of course they'll say that. But I mean, I think it's going to be interesting if we get into a culture of holding past governments accountable. Sure. I think that it would be interesting moving forward on this. Because then it means that, when a party goes out, you know that, Charlie, your people, they come, except that I think the NPP possibly, and I could be wrong, possibly has a lot more lawyers, a lot more prominent,
lawyers,
outspoken lawyers. So I don't really know how it'll work.
Well, Atuforsen said he's got his response. He's going to address a news conference later today and then to tell them. But already he's saying that it is because he is standing against what he describes as the oppressive tax that government wants to introduce.
Of course, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to believe that this is part of the tactics, since the bowing to votes didn't work from this. Wow, very interesting. It really makes me question why this E-levy is so important. It's like it must happen at all costs?
Yeah, well, if you look at our current economic situation, you will say that we need it. We need it not because the taxation aspect of it is subjective. I mean, everybody has his own interpretation, whether we are being taxed too much, whether it's even necessary, whether we need to put tax on E-levy. But if you look at our economic situation, the fact that our debt to GDP is taking us to debt distress, borrowing more means that you are virtually suffocating everybody, because all the revenue that you will take currently, almost 90% goes into the payment of salaries and interest on loans, leaving something very negligible for all the development proposals that we have in the budget. So if you are not borrowing, how are you able to fund your projects? If you
by not being corrupt,
okay,
by prudence,
by cutting down on other things. Then they feel that E-levy, which is generating money internally, will guarantee them almost 7 billion Ghana cedis every year to prosecute some of their instead of borrowing and paying and using all the money that we have. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how they are able to build consensus on this when they come back on the 18th of January and the matter is back on the front burner. How are they going to proceed?
I mean, because it was yesterday that Gabi met with the president.
The former president.
It was 2 days ago.
Yeah, the former president.
Yeah, so I mean, the former president, yeah. So I mean, obviously, they're still talking about it, and even though they said that's not what
they discussed.
Anyway, it's up to them. We all we're thinking about is Christmas for now.
Of course.
We'll get back to all of that.
We'll do the politics in January.
Yes, please. So do you want to take us through the Daily Graphic?
So the Daily Graphic has on its front page, stay safe. Christmas festivities, religious leaders urge Ghanaians. Travel rush missing. That's according to the paper. But the paper is saying that it may get better today at most of the transport stations. Be mindful of product expiry dates. No, this is very important.
Yeah, we had the FDA here yesterday.
You know what most of these supermarkets and small shops do. In fact, for example, after the show, you realize that you need to give somebody a gift and you are thinking of a hamper. So you walk into a shop, there's already a prepared hamper. You pay and you take it. You take it home, you give it to the person go through it, and most of the things they have expired. Because some of them, they bring the goods in, they're unable to sell it, it goes to expiration, they will not throw them away. They package them, some of them in a hamper, and then if you don't take time to scrutinize the expiry dates on it, you might end up eating things that are not good. Okay. And it happens all the time. I've come across so many of such things, and I think that some people who sell, profit is good, but sometimes they also consider the health of the people they are selling to. Yeah. So, and another story is Bodo Ayabuafo re-elected National Media Commission chairperson. Let me start with the Christmas story. And the story starts from page 1. Some religious leaders have urged Ghanaians to stay safe and be cautious during the celebration this Yuletide to avoid fourth wave of COVID-19 pandemic as the Omicron variant surges. They said with the pandemic still lingering, the gift people could give one another was to be responsible for themselves and others by ensuring that they observe the protocols during the gatherings. Ghanaians should also get vaccinated against the disease in order to prevent the spread, thereby exhibiting true love. In addition, they said Ghanaians should celebrate Christmas by putting aside their differences and live in harmony by coexisting peacefully for the smooth growth and development of the country. The religious leaders who gave the advice in separate Christmas message to the Daily Graphic included the president of the Catholic Bishops Conference, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, the Methodist Bishop, and the others. And I guess the message is very clear. Let's celebrate in moderation, observe the protocols associated with COVID-19, and then stay safe, because we will need you alive after Christmas. By Monday, Christmas will be out of the way, and then
now we'll be looking to new year. Somebody made a very interesting observation that a lot of the billboards that are up are more about crossover,
right?
The church ones than Christmas. So I guess crossover is more important than Christmas.
Yeah, for the Christian, for those in the Christian fraternity, crossover, and especially the churches, it will obviously be one of their biggest gatherings. So I think they pay a lot of attention. Crossover, walkover, whatever.
Jump over, run over. Are you going to go to church on the 31st?
Well, I personally, I have my own opinion on this matter. 31st to 1st January is just crossing over into a new day. There's nothing significant about it. In fact, it is waking up, going to bed on Friday, waking up on Saturday. So there's not going to be any unprecedented change in your life and all that.
Instantly.
It's about what you do.
Yeah.
How you walk into it.
Yeah.
So all these prophecies, and sometimes I have my own, issues.
Okay, I see. All right, Elton.
And then the Christmas is a period for giving and sharing in Ghana. No matter how poor we may, we still share our widow's mite at Christmas. And that is coming from the University of Allied Health in the Volta region. And the school is just 10 years old. They are saying that they've gifted Ghana 47 new doctors. That's very nice. Very nice thing to do. Project to increase women participation in district assembly election launched. Yesterday, the State Chairman Sabonso was at a news conference where he took on the Speaker of Parliament, try give us insight in some of the things that happened behind the scenes, and saying that the reason why even the presentation of budget delayed for an hour was that the Speaker was demanding the Finance Minister provide Parliament 1.7 billion Ghana. Otherwise, he was going to ensure that the budget was never going to be approved.
Passed, yeah. It's also on the front page of some of the other papers.
So be mindful of expiry dates on products. FDA has warned. We've already spoken about it. So when you are buying your hamper, whatever you are buying, please look
check
at
the dates.
It is very, very important. Parliament to strengthen oversight, responsibility. Town of South Assembly, great committee to facilitate development. Other clue are catching off, reject DCE nomination. This is the third time, meaning that the president will now have to nominate a new person for the other clue. Are catching off district assemblies, and almost the year is ending. They are without a substantive district chief executive. And very important story here is that the director of the National Road Safety Authority, Ms. May Obriyabwa, has urged members of the public to strictly observe road traffic regulations to prevent road crashes as they celebrate Christmas. She observed that given that Christmas was associated with a lot of movement across the country, it was important for road users to prioritize their safety by staying away from acts that had a tendency to cause road accidents. And it's very important that we do so. Sports page, boxing pro league starts next year. Busy time at Bukom, Adonai Estate to construct golf park. Back page of the paper, site for solid waste disposal ready in January 2022, and Road Ministry get tied with premise concrete companies. So anymore, that's your daily graphic for the 24th
of December. I'm going to do a story from the Republic Press. How to break up with someone at Christmas. It's a very, very, very sad thing. So there's a story here about breaking up with somebody during the Christmas holidays. The first thing that comes to mind is if you really want to break up with somebody, why don't you just wait till after Christmas?
Is this poverty induced?
No, it's the thing is not working.
So we break up.
And it's like, okay, you want to break up, but it's like, okay, now it's Christmas, so you can't. But the problem with that is that it means that you're just going to be miserable.
Of course.
The whole Christmas. Because you're going to be required to spend time with them. Because, obviously you feel like, if you're in a relationship, that we should be together at Christmas. Sure. You don't want to be there. You want to break up, but it's Christmas, so what do? Well, this article tells you how to do it. Be kind and be decisive and, do what you have to do. But be sure, because otherwise, if you break up and you come back, they'll always be there. Hey, you broke up with me on Christmas Day. Hey, you broke up with me on Christmas Day. How could you do that? Anyway, there's also an article here, 10 ways to have a healthier Christmas. So staying safe during this Christmas season. I like this one. Don't sit down all day. Go easy on the booze. Don't give yourself a Christmas stuffing. Don't stress. And apparently colds are rife at Christmas. So,
And don't borrow to also spend Christmas.
Don't borrow, yes. Eat fruit, think before you eat, cook carefully, engage your brain and do something for other people. The borrowing for Christmas Day is very, very, very serious. Because it's like borrowing for a wedding. Now when you finish, January,
you have to go and pay.
You know what's funny? Every time I see my end of December salary come into my account before Christmas, I look at it like the devil is a liar.
Yeah, this people.
I'm not touching. I will not touch it. I will not touch it because it's very easy to get so excited. You blow,
and it's just maximum 3 days.
And then January.
Everything is over.
And then January.
Because at 2 and so.
I swear. Anyway. Okay, any other stories?
So the Daily Dispatch says that Katie Amon said, I prayed for the F to open and bury me when I saw madness on Sky News. The Member of Parliament for Adansi Asokwa has described the events as madness that characterized Parliament before they went on a break. He noted that he wanted to die after seeing photos of the events on Sky News, which is global. Katie Amon has indicated that he wished the earth had, swallowed him and all that. And the Chief Justice says, help the judiciary to sanitize the media industry. That's the Chief Justice to the National Media Commission. There's a story at page 12 of the paper. I'm looking for page 12. So page 12 is at the back. And it says that Dr. Nsiasari, who is a presidential advisor on health, says the government may be forced to trigger compulsory vaccination under the Public Health Act if the increased rate of new COVID-19 cases worsen. The warning comes after the country recorded a spike in active cases from a little over 1,600 to now 3,000 cases in the past 3 weeks. 3 days, actually. Speaking to Asasi Breakfast Show, Dr. Asari said the spike is due to importation of cases because the festive season. It is the influx of people coming all over the world for holiday, and I'm sure that you will aware that there's a lot of surges all over US, Europe, and the UK, all are having their fourth wave, and a lot of our compatriots and other foreigners are coming into the country, and once they come, the importation of the virus into the country also goes up. But we have testing facilities at the airport. So what happens to that? If people are tested positive, do they just allow them to mingle with the general population, or they are?
I think they are isolation. You were telling us last week or so.
So how come you are blaming the increase in the communities on people who are coming out of the country if they were actually tested? They were tested positive and they were kept away from the general population, then the rise wouldn't have happened. Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe it's floating in the air when they go, as they come out of the plane. Then I don't, there's a part of me that doesn't necessarily believe that there's a rise in numbers now. Because for a few months, the Ghana Health Service was not giving us the daily.
Yeah, because I think we all went to sleep on COVID. We thought we were out of it.
Exactly. So are we saying that our numbers are now, we don't actually know whether it is now that our numbers are going up, or whether, I hear what they're saying, but I feel like this has been it for the past few weeks. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly say this. But then also, when you look at Greater Accra, for example, until Monday, recording just four cases a day, and now 400. 4 to 400.
Yeah, so they've been incubating, just cooking.
So
now, boom. It doesn't actually.
My fear is after the festivities.
Yeah.
What will happen after the festivities?
After yeah.
Now that, I think now we just have to enforce the social protocols. It is very important.
And hope that the cases are not severe.
Yeah, yesterday.
Because people are chilling,
and nothing will stop them from chilling. I mean, yesterday on my road, my road is littered with so many sports, pubs and all those. And when I was going home last night, partying all through. When I was coming work at dawn,
they were still partying.
They had not finished. They were still partying.
Wow.
But they actually blocked one part of the road, and it was just dancing and boozing and all those. How can you tell such people to go and do social distancing or wear masks whilst partying?
It's very disturbing. It means that we have to be extra careful.
Today is 24. There are so many events happening in town.
So many.
Most of them indoors.
So many.
Okay.
Anyways, I think that's about it. Do you have any more stories?
No, for now, that's it. Looks like most of the papers have already gone to bed.
Yeah.
And we'll be back somewhere around the 3rd or the 4th of January. 2022. So these are the papers that will keep us at least company till everything is over. But we were waiting to hear what Dr. Atoforson will say today.
Exactly, later on in the day.
He being hauled before court to answer charges of willful causing financial loss to the state. And yet the amount of money involved is 2.3 million euros.
I see. You're off next week?
Yes, me and you all.
No.
You'll be coming to work.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'll still be joining
Ezra will be back the following week.
I'll still be joining you for the newspaper review.
Oh, that would be nice. Okay, all right then. Well, see you on Monday then.
Sure.
Okay, well, thank you so much for staying tuned in. And we've just gone through the newspapers. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the sports news. And then, of course, the conversation continues. This morning, we're asking, should we really be celebrating Christmas? What's the relevance of Christmas in times like this when we have COVID and we're struggling to not get crazy numbers, you know, and all of that. We also want to know if you're traveling. The newspapers are saying travel rush missing. So why are you not going to your village this year? What's happening with that? We'd love to know. If you decided not to travel, why not? And if you are traveling, where you're traveling to. Also, Joyful Way will be joining us this morning. Lots of great music. So don't go anywhere. Plans to be a very interesting show. We'll be joined by our friends from Roverman Production. They're going to talk to us about Festival of Plays. So yeah, like I said, very interesting show, so don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Muftal with the sports.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the AM Sports with me, Oreku Ampofo. Now, President of the Ghana Football Association, Keto Kweku, has promised to chase match fixers out of their hiding place. Now, his comments come in the wake of alleged match fixing scandal, which rocked the Ghana Premier League on the last day last season, where Inter Allies defender Hashmin Musa scored 2 deliberate own goals in their game against Ashanti Gold Nabwasi, alleging that he had heard there was a bet placed on that fixture even before the commencement of the game. Keto Kweku revealed the GFA is collaborating with the CID to ensure perpetrators are brought to the book.
The integrity officer, working closely with the prosecutors, have leveled charges against some of the people who are involved, and they are currently going through the motions at the disciplinary committee level. All the players who were named in that instant case appeared before the committee last Monday. All the officials that were involved would also appear next Friday. So you can see clearly, so it's not about somebody shielding or protecting anybody. The process is ongoing, and it's important. The fact say process air also doesn't mean say Ghana football must come to a standstill. No, because you don't know when the educating process will end. That's why it's important to say the programs no ever possible. In the other developed countries, in other jurisdictions, what that case is saying, but they don't stop their football and say yeah, train. Say they take it 3 years, say 4 years, or 5 years. So, as a case, we are saying about football. No, this is not how brands are built. This is not how brands are built. Cases will always go independent of the brands, and it's our firm commitment to weed the corporates out of their hiding places.
Well, that was Ghana Football Association President Keto Kweku speaking on the alleged match-fixing scandal. But to some more stories, Black Stars coach Milivan Raivach says that he has selected players who have kept what it takes to end Ghana's 39-year drought to win, an Africa Cup of Nations trophy. The 4-time African champions who are currently in a training camp in Qatar last won the trophy in 1982, and Raivach believes he has enough quality to win the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations.
Pripreme to nam mnogo znači I nadam se da ćemo uspjeti da odradimo dobre pripreme, da se dobro pripremimo I da napravimo dobar rezultat, to je najbitnije.
I wouldn't pick those players if I didn't have full faith in them. So this is a group of players that I believe can deliver, and we will, as I already said, we will all do everything in our power to win every time we step on the field. So, and as I said, many others want the same thing. So we are here to do our best, to try to deliver and to make everybody happy. I hope we can do that.
Head coach Milovan Rajovic, but head coach of the national amateur boxing team, Ofori Asare, has attributed his team's stellar performance at the games to adequate preparations. Now, Coach Asare led Ghana to its first Olympic medal in 29 years, guiding Samuel Techi to bronze in the Olympic Games that took place earlier this year. Joshua Wahab says he is ready to do battle at the La Palme Royal Beach Hotel on Christmas Day. The world title hopeful defends his WBO Africa Junior Lightweight title against Tanzania's Jackson Maliyingi. Wahab is confident he can retain the title.
The biggest lesson is about the preparation, how we were able to prepare and go to these Olympic Games to come with that, the only medal for Africa. That is the bronze medal that Samuel Techi got it. I think how it happens and the challenges and so many things surrounding around it, I've learned a lot in terms of how we got into this preparation by using all the other departments that we weren't using previously, like getting in a nutritionists on board, getting closer to the physiotherapists, the psychologists, and all those people. Formally, we don't get in touch with them, even though the team itself didn't have plan for that. I, being a coach, I realized that we need that, and so I made the effort to personally get contact to those departments, and they were able to come on board to help us, and I think that has bear us this fruit by getting this bronze for Ghana, and that is the past 49 years. And then 29 years for Ghana itself.
Now, let's talk about the training camp. The training camp in Tokyo. We hadn't done such a thing in a very long time. Tell me about the boxers and how it affected each and every one of them.
I think, like I said, when we started the training from the Bukom Boxing Arena, also sleeping at a closer place like the Royal Dede, I think it makes it easier for us to do a whole lot of training within a short period of time. Sometimes I have to use my own car in moving them because the place is very shorter, and the number of the boxers who have qualified are also not more. So we are able to get ourselves in touch and then get to the training ground. Sometimes we train 2 or 3 times a day. And these things, like I said, we are getting the nutritionists or the dietitians coming closer. The physiotherapists at the Bukom Boxing Arena itself is also helping us. And when we started from the stadium, so I can't take away the stadium, we were also having the stadium physiotherapists and there's one psychologist there also helping us. So I realized that all these things are things that we are missing, and we should be able to get these things in time.
I respect every boxer. There's no boxer that puts in front of me that I underrate. He's a very good boxer. I watch a couple of his fights on YouTube, and I can see he's a very sharp guy. So we've worked on him, me and my team. The work is done already. My fitness level is 100%. Even I can say maybe 120% because I don't wait for them to give me fight before I start prepare. I always get myself always ready, 100%. So me doing this thing today, just like I'm just doing training. I'm ready. If they say the fight is tomorrow, I'm ready. Oh, of course, because everybody knows me. I've been working hard for these years. And being former WBA Pan-African title, I'm champion, and right now WBO African champion. I'm looking forward to defend the title. There's no way I can give all my fans the Christmas gift than to just deliver the victory. See, every boxer dream is to become a world champion. And that's why I've been working hard all these years. But you see, everybody want to become a world champion, but if you don't put the work, you can't become a world champion. Me, I don't wait for opportunity. I always work hard. I believe the hard work will speak for himself. You know, I've been working hard, even when no one is watching. I always do my work as disciplined boxer. So I believe, inshallah, by next year, before ending of 2022, I'm going to become a world champion, inshallah.
Well, that was Joshua Wahab, and he would be defending his WBO Africa Junior Lightweight title against Tanzania's Jackson Maliyingi on Christmas Day. And then earlier, we also heard from Coach Oforiasare, who was speaking about what went behind their success at the Tokyo Games, with Ghana winning the bronze medal. Let's still stay on boxing. And let's talk to Abimbola Abel Osunderu. Now, he's a 27-year-old Nigerian, Ghanaian, American-born amateur boxer, come entertainer, filmmaker, and he's currently ranked number 1 in the 86 kg and 2021 national champion. He recently represented Chicago in the 2021 boxing national championships, where he defeated his opponent, Ezri Turner. He started boxing just 2 years ago and is unbeaten or undefeated in over 12 bouts. Team Abel, congrats on your win over Ezri Turner in the boxing national championship. First of all, how was the feeling like after your win last Thursday?
The feeling was surreal. It was an amazing feeling. Thank you for having me. And first, I want to give thanks to the Almighty, because without the Almighty, we would not be here right now. But the feeling was amazing.
So you're ranked number 1 in the 86 kg and you're 2021 national champion as well. What does this mean to you as a young boxer?
So this is the height. This is the highest you can reach at this level. Anyway, so I'm on Team USA now, which we have at least, I believe, hundreds of thousands of registered boxers in the United States. So to be on Team USA, be one of the people selected, is an amazing feeling. Ranked number 1 in the USA. And it took hard work and dedication and extreme focus. That's how I got to where I am.
So how do you combine the two, that's acting / modeling, and then with boxing now? Is it not giving you divided attention?
Yes, so they do say that you can't serve 2 masters. You have to focus on one. So when I am boxing, that's all I'm focusing on at the time. And I've been a natural-born actor since I was young. Since I've been a baby, I've always been acting. So that just comes naturally. And I do hone on my skills when an opportunity does come, auditions and whatnot. I focus on that. But boxing is what I'm focused on 100% now.
Well, you stated earlier that you've really reached the pinnacle of amateur boxing, being ranked number 1 in your category, and then being a national champion as well. What would you say is your target? What would you want to be in the next 2 years?
Well, and so before, let's say before 2 years, the next thing I want to do is turn professional, which we will do in 2022. Our first target is we want Jake Paul and we want Logan Paul. So we're coming for you, and don't run, because you guys have to fight actual boxers. But within 2 years, I will become a world champion, undisputed world champion by the grace of the Almighty. And it will happen. And of course, I have to bring my people along, my Ghanaian people, my Nigerian people, and my West African people. This is for them. This is for them. It goes to show how good we are when we have the resources.
You touch on the resources and, bringing your West African friends along. But would you call on African decision makers and leaders to allocate more resources to develop underprivileged talents in West African sports, fitness, and the arts, especially, boxing?
Yes, of course. I think they are, and they will, and they have to, because there's so much talent in West Africa. Like I said, I'm the lowest of the totem pole when it comes to it. There's way more people in Africa, in West Africa, that have a lot more talent than me, but they don't have the resources. And with the resources, you'll see the levels that they will rise to, the new heights, the new limits that they would surpass. So I think that's very important for the leaders to allocate more resources for our people. And that will let us grow bigger, grow stronger as a nation and as a continent, Africa.
Well, lastly, before you go, speaking of Africa, either Nigeria or Ghana, should any country be expecting you to come back anytime soon to establish any fund of a sort that would help unearth talents?
Of course, yes. I actually plan on doing a tour in January or February. Come to West Africa and go to Ghana, come to Nigeria and do a tour and inspire people, inspire our people. It's not only through me, it's everybody. You have to look out for everybody and make sure everybody is inspired or everybody has something that they can look up to. So I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for the people that surround me, and I'm grateful for my African people.
All right, thank you very much, Abimbola Abel Osindaro. Now he's a 27-year-old Nigerian Ghanaian American-born amateur boxer, commentator, and filmmaker as well. He's currently ranked #1 in the 86 kg category and also the 2021 national champion. It was a pleasure speaking to you. But let's still stay with basketball, where local basketball academies here in Ghana have exported many talents to the US and Europe in recent years. The hard luck for this country and basketball, however, remains as many of these exported talents don't end up in the NBA or pro leagues of Europe. Hoop Dreams, the Joy Sports feature, zooms into the Ghanaian basketball academies to find out why they're still running despite many talents not making it to pro leagues.
Okay, because so far as Nigeria is in Africa, so far as they are making it, I have the hope that Ghanaians will also get there one day.
Qualify to be there, not there 18 years and reducing their age to 14 years and not the 20 years reducing their, but we have a quality players that can play national, that can stand in front of the US basketball team.
It makes me feel depressed because when it's at the back of the television watching Nigeria playing the national team, even though they are part of Africans, but it makes you feel bad because you've not seen Ghanaians.
When you look at the African basketball,
it makes you feel bad because you've not seen Ghanaians.
When you look at the African basketball African League, Ghana is nowhere to be found. We have about 8 to 12 countries participating in this, and then this is where we want to be part of. This is where Ghana needs to be known.
I aim at playing the NBA or Europe leagues or represent the country in the Olympics.
Yeah, I wish to play in the WNBA one day.
We are hoping for the best. The new president of the Ghana Basketball Association has a plan.
Let's hope that we can make it.
I trust in God, and I'm sure that one day, if not me, one person here in Ghana will make it to the top.
So do make a date at 2 p.m. and 10:30 much later today on the Joy News channel. My name is Oreku Ampofo, and that's how we wrap up the sports here. You can get some more sports stories on my Joy Online /sports, or follow us on social media at Joy Sports GH. The AM show continues right after this break.
This is still the AM show. It's the day before Christmas, so we're really excited. Can't wait for tomorrow. But in the midst of all this excitement, of course, it's COVID-19, and a few days ago, actually, the Ghana Health Service, suggested that churches, for example, move some of their services online or move outside, and I'm just thinking, this time Christmas is on Saturday, so people are going to come to church, and it could end up being a whole day affair, really, because, after church, somebody brings jollof in an ice chest, somebody has made some small sobolo. By the time you realize there's a whole, deba going on and all of that. And those are the things that we love the most about Christmas, the sense of togetherness, the fellowship, the family, the having fun, all of that. But we have COVID-19. We've gone from 4 cases a day to 400 cases a day, and we know what happened last year. Last year we maybe flouted the rules, didn't take it as seriously, and in January we had the most number of deaths that we've ever experienced since this pandemic started. So it's when you want to ask the question, is Christmas still relevant? In times like this, is it important that we, continue to honor these traditions? And joining me to have this conversation is Most Reverend Dr. Paul K. Boafo. He's the presiding bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana and former chairman of the Christian Council of Ghana as well. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, my dear.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bishop, so how are you feeling? I mean, before I get into a conversation, how are you feeling about Christmas this year?
Christmas is always a time of joy, a time of reconciliation, a time when we have God visiting. And so a visit of God brings peace and brings all the blessings. And so it's a time that I always want to have in my life. So for me, it's as if every day should be Christmas. So it's a time of blessings to all people.
This is just a by the way question, like an off the cuff question. So
Yeah.
one of my nephews came back from school a few days ago and asked a question that I couldn't really answer. So I'm going to put it to you. And apparently they had been learning about the fact that Jesus wasn't really born apparently around Christmas, around the time that we celebrate Christmas, and the origins of Christmas and the holiday and all of that. And so his question for me was, if we're getting the birthday wrong, is it still as significant? Obviously I said but I mean, what would you say to that question, especially to the young up and coming Christians who are sometimes hit with this kind of information, you kind of wonder that, okay, how do I defend this?
This is a very legitimate question, and people keep asking why 25th December, and the history behind it, it's a long tradition, and we have 2 issues, 2 stories or 2 historical facts about it. The first is to look at it from the writings of the early fathers. One early father said, and in fact, the annunciation or the birth or the announcement was on 25th March. And so counting 9 months would be 25th December.
Okay.
Then there is a second one, which has to do with the history of the time when Christ was born, that around AD 400, 300, 400, when Constantine became the emperor, he tried as much as possible to change all the pagan festivals, which was to celebrate the sun, to celebrate Jesus Christ. And so, in the real sense of this whole question of Christmas, it's not indeed the time when what happened, but it is the celebration of God's visitation to earth, God coming to become humanity. That is God, in a theological sense, we say God condescending to become man. And it was for a purpose. That purpose was to reconcile humanity to himself, was for God to bring peace amongst humanity. And this is joyful. This is a celebration. So you listen to the angels and the announcement that they give. On this day in the city of David is born for you a king, a savior, who is king of the Jews. So that is how we look at it. So from any angle that you are looking at it, it is not necessarily the date, but it is the celebration. That is why it is called Christmas. It is a service or a mass to honor and adore the newborn King who is Christ the Lord for the world.
Okay, that definitely helps. So I mean, let's put all of this in the middle of COVID-19 and what's happening.
Sure.
And you know, there have been some calls, and it's funny how, you know, a lot of times the church gets hit first. With some of these issues, you know, or people kind of attack the church first, and they're talking about, oh, you know, why don't you do online church? Why don't you stop doing this? Why don't you stop doing this? And already, I mean, last week, you know, the Ghana Health Service did say, you know, okay, so for 31st night, why don't you move your services outside, or why don't you, you know, just go online? I mean, in the midst of everything that's happening with COVID-19, is it important? You know, is Christmas relevant? You know, do we have to do all of the traditions, you know, and go to church and fellowship with, you know, our brothers and sisters? Or is it actually just safer maybe to just stay at home and have a different kind of Christmas?
Right. Thank you very much. I should say Merry Christmas in advance to all your cherished listeners this morning, and to wish them God's blessings in the coming year. In fact, as a church, we are hit by COVID as any other institution, because this is something for all the world, and the church cannot say that we are not concerned. But in the heat of all that, we all showed that we cannot go to church, we cannot gather in the chapel, so everything should go online. And we prayed, and we're thankful to God that the restrictions were eased, and we could go in with some modifications to worship live and all that. And that has continued till now. In our Christmas messages to our congregants and to the world, we mentioned that COVID is still around and even coming with new deadly variant called the Omicron. So when we heard that these are the modalities for services this Christmas, a message has been sent to all people that can we also make sure that the protocols are followed, and those who can have it in the open do that, so that we don't help in the spread or get a spike after the joyful celebration. So we are all concerned and making sure that we will take the precautions as given by Ghana Health Service, so that we don't hurt ourselves. I like the way the director, World Health Organization, put it. You cancel an event, it's more important than canceling the life. Because if the life is lost, there will be no celebration. But you can keep the life and then celebrate later. So it is to come with all the moderations, that you don't have to spend more time in the church. If it's it's an enclosure, then it's 1 hour you are gone, so that people can have their freedom and go home and join family and friends to continue with the celebration. But Christmas is still relevant in the midst of COVID, because God's visitation is peace. God's visitation is health. God's visitation is that which brings us into what it means to be human. So Christmas is still relevant in the midst of all the changing scenes of life that we have.
That's actually one of my most favorite songs. I went to a Methodist girls' school, and so through all the changing scenes of life and troubles,
that's right.
and
That's
enjoy
right.
the praises of my God shall
God
still.
that full and pour my heart.
Yes.
That's right.
So thank you for that.
You are a true Methodist. You are it's good. It's good.
Thank you for that. But another thing, just before you go, another thing that a lot of us look forward to is 31st night and crossing over. And of course, you know, the themes that come for the years. I've already seen the year of supernatural 2022, the year of, you know, supernatural speed, 2022, the year, you know, there's so many themes, you know, and somehow in the midst of all of that, you're kind of looking for some sort of promise, you know, from God that you're going to be okay, or that, you know, it's going to be a year where, you know, something might be different. I mean, from your heart and in your time with, you know, that you have spent with God leading up to the coming year, 2022, what would you say perhaps is one of the things that's maybe on the heart of God a lot for us for 2022?
Well, thank you. See, we are men and women of hope, and we are always anticipating for something good ahead. Because you look at what is past and the current situation in which you find yourself, and it's very unfortunate that we always concentrate on the negatives more than the positives that come into our lives. And so we are always looking for what is ahead, and it should be prosperous, it should be peaceful, it should bring all the good things that we have within it. And so as pastors or as men and women of God, we believing that God in his own wisdom will not bring us into deadly calamities and things that are causing us more harm, death, and all that. That is why we are even against prophets and men and women of God who come out with death threats and death prophecies and all that. Because we serve a God who is alive and a God who is always making sure that his people live in peace with him. And so, for me, yes, we need to have faith in this God. And I will not come out with any of these catchy themes that will draw people. But all I will say is that we serve a God who is faithful, and he who has brought us here is a God who will go ahead of us and send us through. So, as a Methodist, I would say that guide me, O thou great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land filled with COVID and all the hardships, but let me experience your peace and cover my defenseless head and be a light for me in the coming year. So that I can sail through it. I put my hand in his hand so that he goes ahead of me and directing. So that's my prayer for everyone, and that's my admonition to everyone, that let us trust in this God who is alive and will send us to where his will directs.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for that. Very comforting words.
I have preached this morning.
You've preached this morning. You've preached this morning.
Then we'll come and take the offering. I'll come and take the offering.
Yes, please. We'll send the baskets around. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your hearts with us. this morning. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement, the reminders of the hymns that we grew up with, which have offered us so much comfort and hope over the years. Thank you so much. And that will stay with me. Guide me, O thou great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. I wish you an amazing Christmas. Stay safe.
I wish you the same, and wish all your cherished listeners
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, all right. So that was Most Reverend Dr. Paul K. Boafo, Presiding Bishop, Methodist Church of Ghana, and putting tears in our eyes this morning. And it's just amazing sometimes, you know, when we put aside everything that's going on and just go back to the comfort and the hope that we have in the God that we serve. And in difficult times like this, yes, COVID and, you know, everything that's going on, it's nice to know that we have a God who is leading us. So just remember that. Remember the reason for the season and all of your chilling and everything. Take some time out, you know, to just connect and also do something nice. Anyways, okay, so that's it, and we're moving on. But for the best Ghanaian experience this holiday season, remember that Taste of Ghana is a unique festival that's happening, and will celebrate all the amazing elements of Ghanaian culture. So there's local dishes, beverages, fashion shows, drama, poetry, arts and artifacts, and good music. Now, Taste of Ghana is happening on Monday, 27 December, at the forecourt of the State House. It's from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and it's absolutely free, but you have to show up wearing strictly African print, and of course, all COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Taste of Ghana is brought to you by GIPC, Ministry of Information, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ghana Tourism Authority, Guba Enterprise, Beyond No Return, and Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Taste of Ghana, our language, our identity, our pride. And also happening on the 27th, which is Monday, is Party in the Park. We'll be at the Eburi Botanical Gardens, and it's from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's the whole day, 60 Ghana cedis for a family of 5. So really exciting. Join us at the Eburi Botanical Gardens. Come with your children. Okay, Gomez, thank you for that. Good morning to my director, Gomez, who is such a comforting and loving voice in my ear. But yeah, so that's Party in the Park. It's 50 CDs for a family of 6. So not 60 CDs for a family of 5. 50 CDs for a family of 6. So we pick up your tickets, front desk of Joy FM. We're not selling them that day because we need to be able to check the numbers. So make sure to pick up your ticket. We're going to talk about a festival of place. It's become a Christmas staple. You know, it's like fufu and chicken soup, jollof and goats, festival of place, you know. Of course, I'm talking about Roverman Productions. And every Christmas, you know, Roverman brings you 6 plays or 5 plays, depending of your favorite plays that have run throughout the year, and bring back one of the old ones that you really love. So my good friend Nisa Kisaki will be joining us. We'll tell you all about that right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Well, hello there. You're welcome back. This is still the AM show. My son is joining us this morning for a conversation on Festival of Place. If you were wondering what to do over Christmas, and you like theatre and singing and dancing and beautiful women and all of that in a godly environment.
And handsome men.
In a godly, I'm looking to Roverman, my people. I'm just going to stick with the beautiful women.
And Nana Kofi.
Yes, good morning to you, Nana Kofi, if you're watching us. Nana Kofi lost his dad about a week ago. We're sending you our condolences. We love you, and God will take you through this difficult time. Okay, so we are festivaling.
Yes, anymore. We are
and it starts tomorrow.
Yes, mommy, it starts tomorrow.
Very funny.
Yeah.
With Dear God. Do you know that Dear God, was the first play that I watched ever?
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, and this was what, 4 years? 4 years. Yeah, that was my first play that I watched.
Yeah, and let me tell you something very interesting about Dear God, Dear God, is one of the plays that we actually went in without a full strength of every cast member. You may not know this. Andrew, our lead actor, fell sick,
halfway through rehearsal. So KY had to step in and stand in for Andrew. Now when it gets to the first weekend, JB falls sick. So then KY has to play. This is JB, music director. JB falls sick. So KY has to be in the pit and play for him. Andrew wasn't fully well, but he was on stage. In the middle of rehearsals, Viva cut her arm during rehearsal with a glass. So everybody at every given point in time was shaking.
But you know that this sounds like almost every play that we've done.
Exactly. Now, this is what Uncle says. He says he was thinking about it, and he was like, why is this happening? And God told him that it's not about your strength. It's about me. I want to do what I want to do. And I don't necessarily need the best people at their full capacity. It's about God.
God does that a lot.
Exactly.
So, for example,
You
this
are
happened to
TV,
me.
So, yes.
Whatever.
God did it.
Yeah, you have
Fast.
church. That wasn't what I'm talking about. But it's funny because, so I sing.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that God does that a lot. That's, you know when you know you can sing, pa?
Yeah.
And then the thing they come happen and you know that your voice has gone.
By the end of the day,
And then you sing,
and people,
and you know that people didn't hear what you sang. They heard something else.
and you know that,
And then you're like, okay, God, you've made your point. It's never really about my strength. But that's the essence also of Dear God, Comma.
Exactly.
It's that dialogue and that, you know.
it's
I love
basically-
that play.
Yeah, it teaches us something that we all need to understand, that you don't need to mention all the nicknames of God to get him to listen to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just simple. Prayer is simple. Just simple communications. Like sending a business email. Dear God, comma, I need help, full stop. And if you say it in all genuineness and all simplicity, and you actually mean it, he would come to you. You don't need to...
As opposed to, Father, we stand in the outer court.
My God,
Start from the outer court.
Sabados. You know, and then
And you come into the inner court.
And then we...
Into the Holy of Holies. Then you remind him that the veil was rent in two. Then you enter and you pray that, Lord, don't let me come out dead. Then you, I mean, and obviously there is, you know, there's time, you know, for that kind of fellowship, but it's also just the simplicity of calling on God. So that's Dear God,
That's Dear God.
and that's happening tomorrow. 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. as usual.
8 p.m. sharp, National Theatre. And you know when we say 4 p.m., please.
We know I was coming to watch The Secret Code of Wives with a new friend that I was trying to recruit to come and watch.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Please.
Okay.
And he was late.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So because he got to me late, I was like, I'm not going to go. And he thought I was being funny, but I really wasn't being funny because I really understood that if I am not there at 4 p.m. or 8 p.m., by the time I come, no point. And I think that our plays or Roverman Productions plays are possibly almost the only event in Ghana that when they say it is starting at 4 p.m.
Yeah,
it's
it
starting
starts at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Mention any other event. Yeah, we are too long at that. We'll give you all
I
the
can. Okay, I can. Anyway, so tomorrow Christmas Day is Dear God, and then Boxing Day.
The comeback.
Oh, the angel you have known and the devil you have not known. Both of them have known you. Yeah. The comeback. My favorite part of the comeback is get up and suck your own breast.
Yeah, rise up.
Yes, rise up and suck your own breast.
If you don't know what she's talking about, we have some really weird proverbs in there by one of the fantastic actors. He comes up with some crazy stuff. I wonder where he gets those things.
Who knows?
Andrew.
Yeah.
And he plays Jojo Ronaldo in the comeback. He plays a footballer, you know, who is returned, and his family people have chopped all his money. So he gets angry and all that. Do you know my favorite?
What?
In there? He says that if your number one weapon is Benta,
then you have seen everybody.
or if you have seen all your enemies as enemies.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of crazy quotes that I'm trying to remember. It's so hilarious.
Yes, then my new favorite one. I say, if you look a king in mouth inside, I've seen that if you get woman breast, you drink.
Wow.
Yeah, Andrew said it's not me.
Andrew's not you. Well, good morning to you, Andrew Adote, and for coming up with the weirdest stuff. So comeback is on
27th.
On 26th.
No, 26th we don't have a show at the National.
So Saturday 25th,
5th,
then Monday
27th.
Okay.
Caught in the act.
No, so Monday is the comeback.
Yes, Monday is the comeback.
Then
Tuesday
28th.
Caught in the act.
Caught in the act.
Crazy.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't. Imagine this. A man walks into a room.
No.
He's traveled, he comes back.
I can't.
He meets Another man on top of his wife.
Why wasn't she on top though? Okay, never mind.
Babe, she wasn't you. Yeah, you know, he's angry, he's kicking and all that. And the guy who's doing stuff with his wife says, you know what, stand out, I haven't finished. Stand outside. Give me like 45 minutes to 1 hour. If I finish, you can have your wife back.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know, that sets the ball rolling for one of the most craziest roller coasters on stage ever. Coupled with a drunkard Kokonsa guy who knows the information on everybody in the neighborhood.
You play that part?
Alone.
do you play that part?
Yes, I do.
How did I know that? Okay.
You know, who...
They say art mimics life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do.
No, don't. Let's continue.
Okay. Yeah. So who knows the information on everybody, and he's actually picking the information from this house, taking it here, this house, taking it there, just for a bottle or two. So put that together. Put art. Crazy parents who think that their children shouldn't be married to each other, who are always fighting. Yes, and you have a story for Caught in the Act. Tell the story of Martin, who, you know, goes to do his own shenanigans, comes back, and Charlie realizes that his house is on fire.
And Kuyi.
You should watch Caught in the Act. It's like this play. Okay, so this is actually the oldest play we are bringing back.
Caught in the Act.
Yes, it was done in 2010.
I see.
Yeah, so that's like 11 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's been fun. Fact is, we have about 95% of the original cast.
Oh, that's nice.
Still there.
That's
so
really nice.
We're like bringing it's like a proper blast from the past.
Blastings from the pastings.
Exactly.
So that's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
And then
we go to Devil's Wife. That's on 1st January, New Year's Day.
1st January.
Yeah.
That's Saturday.
Saturday, yes.
Okay. I don't think I've seen The Devil's Wife either.
Then you actually missed. Devil's Wife, you know, Devil's Wife is one of the 2 plays we've done this year.
Okay.
Because of COVID. Actually, what we do is that we do 4 plays every year.
Every quarter? One every quarter?
One every quarter. Thank you very much, English, madam. And then we add 2 old plays in the past. But this time around, because of COVID and everything, we are bringing 4 old plays.
Yeah.
In addition to the 2 plays. So Devil's Wife is one of them. Devil's Wife is crazy. Devil's Wife is one of the plays that we did that, you know, in the middle of the play, people started speaking in tongues. I kid you not.
Wow.
Yes. There's this scene in there that when they saw it, they are like, Charlie, crazy. You know, people just go crazy. You should see it. I don't want to keep going on and on about Devil's Wife.
Okay.
Then
so that's Saturday, next week Saturday.
Next week Saturday.
And then Blackmail. Blackmail was my first play.
Yeah. Blackmail
the first
was
play that I was in, yeah.
You featured, and you should have seen her. She showed up huge like that against Elsie.
Which was funny.
Yeah.
With the crazy hair.
Another crazy story. Blackmail is also fantastic. Then we ended with Secret Code of Wives.
Which just ran a few weeks ago.
Our first 2-member cast play.
Yes.
Sustained an audience for like 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
Blowing.
I mean, of course, Nana Kofi and Tina, or Nefi and Tina, depending on on which day.
And Alison is also in the mix there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so you can imagine.
Okay, okay. Well, it sounds good. I mean, I saw clips of it.
Yeah.
So I was amazed.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I know Uncle has been wanting to do this two.
Yeah.
This two cast play for a while now.
So it's been fun. It's something that we are expecting that people would come and have fun because we are ready through it all. We've been at this for quite some time and we are prepared for the weekend.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
You're always prepared.
Be prepared.
So it's crazy. We wake up and we go. So exciting stuff. So 6 plays.
6 plays.
Over 6 days.
Yep.
4 p.m. and 8 p.m. So let's just run through. There's Saturday, then Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. It does. Yeah. Okay. So how much is it now?
A single ticket costs 100 Ghana cedis. And then for all...
About time.
Yeah. Oh, you
yeah.
And then for all 6 plays, you pay 500 Ghana
500
cedis.
cedis.
So we give you literally 1 play for free if you buy
the whole package.
And the advantage you get if you buy the whole package is that you get to choose any of the times you come. So that ticket is either 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. But if you're buying a single ticket, you have to, it's date and please, it's date and time specific. So don't say that, oh, I bought a ticket for the 4 p.m. show, but I didn't come. Can I use it for 8 p.m.? No, you can't. So please, if you buy it, don't say, oh, and I say, oh, it's the same ticket. Please.
It's not. And especially because of COVID-19.
Yes.
The numbers are very important.
Yes. And now, with the new directives coming from Ghana Tourism Authority now, we've had to literally further on had to space out more,
yeah, of course.
Which we already did.
Reduces the number of tickets available.
Exactly, which we already did, but now we have to space out more. So please, get your tickets quick. The tickets are actually running out. Festival tickets are like crazy. They are running out. But please, hurry up, get your tickets and come and get a good space to sit. Because once we hit the limits, the number limit in the auditorium, we are not going to fill in the blank seats, because COVID is real, Charlie. It's real.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Just before you go, quickly run us through where we can get the tickets from.
Just come to the front desk of Joy FM and you can pick tickets or dial the short code. The last time that short code nearly messed me up on your show. Dial the short code *713*5*5#. That's *713*5*5#. And then you just use your phone, go through the prompts, and you can buy a ticket on your phone. Bring it to the National Theatre and we'll allow you entry.
Simples.
Simple.
Okay, so Joy FM or short code or the shells, there's Bachuna Shell, airports, the usual.
Plenty. That's why I just, guys, just pick your phone,
Okay.
*713*5*5#.
Pay before the E-levy comes into. Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is how E-levy is going to affect everything. We want to do that. All right. So Roverman Festival of Play starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Remember, it's 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can go to the website or Instagram, Facebook, Roverman Productions, and get all the information that you need. Thank you, Nisaki.
And we'll maybe dropping some free tickets online as well. So just follow us on any of our social media handles.
Yeah, that would be really nice. That would be really nice. Well, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Stay safe out there.
We should hang out sometime.
We will definitely.
And do our favorite style, like singing off key in your car.
Oh gosh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
And rapping and singing.
I have those
recordings.
videos.
We have it.
Yeah, we have those videos. Okay, so that's Roverman Production, but I'm sure you've heard of 5%, 10%, 15, 20% discount, but never 50. Well, Sethi Realty is offering 50% discounts on their dwelling properties, prices starting from 210,000 Ghana cedis. It's like buying a brand new car, house for a car. This offers for a limited time and on selected units. Terms and conditions apply. So if you're looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom home in a gated community, make sure you call Sethi Realty on 055-143-5555, 055-143-8888, or visit them online via www.nyamedriagh.com. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. I promised you some great music, didn't I? Yes, I did. And of course, we also want to know if you're traveling, where you're traveling to, where you're traveling from. Have you bought your polythene bag? Are you ready to go?
24th.
Yes, it's 24th. All right. So we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, so much more.